would you guys grant us permission to put a couple of those videos in this episode?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any specific ones that you guys want us to play, or should we play the ones that we were talking about maybe?
Yeah, I mean, play like, obviously the vampire one, and then maybe a couple of the lyric videos off the new record.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that'd be super cool. Okay. Should I start off with welcome to another episode of the Sit Down Podcast, or just
however you want to do it? It's all yours.
All right. My name is Matt Brannon. I'm in a band called Hot Mondy. We're from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And this is another episode of the Sit Down Podcast, and we're super stoked to be a part of it.
My name's Travis, also a band member of Hot Mondy, and you're listening to the Sit Down Podcast.
Beauty.
Heck yeah, gentlemen. Welcome to the show, you guys. What a pleasure. I know we had this scheduled, what was it, a week or two back, and we had to reschedule as some people were sick. How are you guys feeling now?
Yeah.
Yeah, much better, man. For sure. It was rough.
Clearly, right?
I wouldn't be sitting this close to him if it wasn't better. So.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah. So it started with the kids, right?
Yeah, I mentioned that you're a little guy van.
Oh yeah, it always seems to. They get sick pretty often, for sure.
Yep.
Heck yeah. How many children do you have?
We each have one.
Oh, nice.
Slightly
Me too,
ages. Mine's 14. So.
And mine's 16 months, so a little younger.
Oh, heck yeah, you guys. Well, congrats on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, had you reached out to them, or did they reach out to you?
So this is a bit of a story. Matt, is it your dad?
Travs.
Or your...
It's my dad, actually, yeah.
Okay. So Travis, the dad, him and I were in contact because his dad was trying to start a business with hi-fi electronics stuff, and we were kind of talking if we could work together in one way, shape, or form, because I'm in Western Canada. He's in, obviously, the most farther. I don't think you can get any farther.
The most
east in Canada. So we were trying to work together. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out, but he kept talking about this band that his son is in, and it's awesome, and I should check it out, and I should have them on the podcast. So that was a while ago, and then Matt reached out saying that, hey, so are we doing this? I was like, yeah, we are. So
yeah,
and so here we are, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you guys are in Nova Scotia?
Yep.
That's right?
We are.
Dude, I found out like I found out recently that I'm actually an Aboriginal of Nova Scotia. My family is. I knew that we were like uprooted from not me, but like my family did, right? Came from Nova Scotia to here and settled here back in the day. I only figured it out. I was trying to figure out, if I could get a Métis card. So I was like looking into it, and I know some of my family has theirs and others don't. And what I gathered was, yes, we can get our Métis cards, but Saskatchewan does not recognize us as Métis. So digging in deeper, it's a Nova Scotian Aboriginal Métis card. And I was like, oh shit. So
how does your family have their Métis card?
Well, not all of them do, but they have the Nova Scotian Aboriginal cards.
Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe we're related, you guys.
Okay.
Connection.
Yeah.
Could be.
Absolutely, man.
Hell yeah. Acadian.
You are French, so.
Yeah. So yeah, no, awesome. I had the privilege of listening to your guys' music. I was watching your videos. I'm a huge fan of music videos. So I applaud you guys on that and keeping that alive for people like me. I think one of my favorite ones was Vampire. I thought that it was very beautifully
Yeah.
done, and yeah, it was like aesthetically everything, all of the above. It was just great, man. I think if I was to narrow it down, that would be my top pick out of the video. I think I watched like
Yeah.
5 of your videos, I think, or something like that. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah,
great,
yeah, yeah. We've
great
got those
job, you
videos.
guys.
Then the new record's
Thank
like
you.
more like just the lyric video approach, and we kind of did a different visual thing this time. But Vampires, one of Trav's songs, and he sings it, and that's probably my favorite video as well, man. It's such a cool thing. And our friend Brad, who directed it, lives in LA, and he works on he does he's like a VFX editor for Stranger Things.
Oh
So
shit!
he's yeah, yeah. So that's like his whole world. So he's a big music fan, and so to build his kind of like portfolio, we riffed on some cool video ideas, and then him and some buddies shot it in LA, and it was like a creative way of solving some big problems during COVID, right? Because it's like
Heck yeah!
can't really go anywhere, and yeah, so it worked out really well.
Well, I'm feeling good today. I don't want it to go away.
yeah,
Very
beautifully done. Beautifully done.
So Travis is. Are you considered the singer, or who plays what in the band?
Yeah. Trav's lead singer. I sing a little bit. And this latest record, we had some friends join us and do some vocals as well. So,
Right.
but yeah, when we perform, Trav sings, 70-80% of the songs.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say that it appeared that like there was a lot of collaborations with other artists on the tracks
Yeah.
that I was listening to. So I kind of wanted to get into that, how that concept came to be. Was it difficult to do, or were they all just kind of like friends of yours, and it's like, oh, let's do a song together,
And it kind of
kind of thing?
happened
Yeah.
naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit of a few things. We had the band originally had two singers. So Travis and another gentleman that used to be in the band who, under some unfortunate circumstances, moved on from the band. And we had already gone pretty far down the road with this record. And some of the songs, Trav was singing probably about half the album. After he left, Trav picked up a couple more of the songs, but some of them just like because of keys and things like that, just weren't a good fit. So we were like, well, let's make some lemonade here, and it was an opportunity for us to like geek out and bring in some of our vocal friends who are like awesome, and otherwise we may not have like an opportunity to have them take a feature on some of our tracks. So yeah, they were awesome enough to join us, and it's just one of those funny things where you think, oh no, like what are we gonna do, and then you get to the end and it's like, oh, this is so much better. Like this was like more interesting and than we ever could have imagined. So it was a really happy like ending to what at one point was like oh shit.
Yeah,
Like
what are we
yeah.
gonna do? Yeah.
So it was super cool the way it all came together.
So it kind of went from oh no to oh yes.
Right. Like it was a meant
Yeah.
to be kind of thing.
Totally.
Sweet.
Oh
Heck
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, a bit of wind out of our sails for sure, but we found it again. So
Right.
So how many
Yeah.
people in the band?
really good.
Four core guys,
Right.
and then we basically like have what I would call like the extended family who like perform live with us, because we usually perform with like anywhere from 7 to 9 is typical for
Oh,
a
wow.
show.
Okay.
So it just depends on where we're playing. I mean, we have like we can do we'll occasionally perform with 5 people, like we absolutely can do that, but we like having the full band when we perform. It's does a better. We like the way it serves the music better.
Right.
Cool.
Can we have like a little origin story? Like how long have you guys been together for? All that kind of stuff.
I mean, the band started. I'll say the band started with Travis and I. Kind of just. I was good friends with his brother. He and I played soccer for a lot of years together, and Trav and I ended up meeting. I think it was your birthday, man.
My birthday.
Yeah.
We were
And
feeling pretty good.
yeah, that's right. So we met, and we were talking about just getting into just playing some music and stuff. Neither of us were in a band or anything at that point in time, so we started hanging out and just like making some noise, and then we talked to a couple of other friends, and then we had like another buddy. His band was kind of just kind of going on hiatus, so it was just like a perfect timing where a group of us kind of all kind of became available at the same time. And originally it was just like playing outlaw country music. Like none of us except for the old singer was like from that kind of background, but like we were just like, oh, this is different. This is cool.
Exactly.
Like let's get into a different type of music. So we ended up playing like for a better part of a year, we were going out and doing like Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, like all that kind of stuff. And that stuff's so fun to play. People really loved it. But we quickly figured out like, A, we like each other, and B, we had a good chemistry, liked writing together. And it was like, okay, well, let's see where we can go with this.
Right.
And if you go to listen to our EP, you can definitely hear the like the connection to that kind of outlaw stuff. Like it's a really dusty album, like very like westerny.
Yep.
And this record has some of that, but it's definitely moving away from that kind of where that part of the origin story, so to speak. So
For sure. I kind of picked up on that subtly in that vampire song too. It was like, holy shit, he kind of sounds like Johnny Cash a little bit, and then the video was
Yeah,
making
man.
me think of like True Blood or something. I was like, oh, yeah, it was
Totally.
really
Yeah,
good
man.
Totally.
for sure.
And I mean, that was a
This guy's a chameleon, man. Like, and it's like, it's not a chameleon where he's like trying to sound like other people. He's just
Right.
got some really cool voices. Like when he like his upper register, like he gets in, like into like Robert Plant territory, which is
Oh, wow.
super, super cool. So it's like, it's two very weird kind of like tonal centers to have in your locker, you know?
I didn't even know
100%.
I could sing like that for the vampire tune. Yeah, I just kind of happened. Yeah, man.
Excellent.
It's funny. There are a lot of vocalists that have that. They have their comfort zone, and then someone says, "You should try that." Oh, I can't do that. Well, try it anyway. And then it's like, "Holy shit, I can!"
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you
for sure.
do you guys when you record, are you guys like mixing and recording? Are you guys doing all that in house, or do you guys go to like an outside studio or third party studio and do it there?
Mostly outside. So we worked with pretty well known Canadian producer Michael Philip Voivoda, who did Bare Naked Ladies Gordon, did like the two big Rheostatics albums, Spirit of the West, like
Okay.
has a couple of Junos, I think. So we worked with him on both records. Awesome guy, like just very much like part of the band.
Right.
The EP we did in Toronto, so we went to Revolution Recording there and did all the bed tracks. And then like we got home, and a week later, literally the country shut down. Like it was all over. So we ended up doing the rest, like finishing that album totally remotely. Like did all the overdubs and everything at my house, and Michael would basically like produce from like in real time.
Like this, like we would be back and forth, and there'd be glitches and delays and things like that. So it was, that was troubleshooting. All of that was its own thing.
No doubt.
So it was a really that album had a really cool kind of journey it went on. And then this record we did this record when we did it because there was nothing else to do. We basically formed during COVID, and there was like, we couldn't go play. So it was like, well, we've got a bunch of songs. I do some writing with a friend of the band outside, and we kind of had a little stockpile of songs, and Trav had some songs. So we're like, we got enough here for like a decent record. Like, let's get back in the studio. So Michael actually drove down to Halifax from Toronto, quarantined here. And then we did like
we had our bubble.
We did like a couple of weeks of pre-pro, and then recorded at a local studio, awesome studio here in Halifax called the Sonic Temple, which is in this like 200+ year old heritage building. And yeah, we ended up doing all the bed tracks and most of the tracks there. And then of course at that point, the guy that used to be in the band left, and we had to get creative to finish it from there. But all in all, it was a really cool experience, and mostly like try to do things as old school as possible. Like, like love the big old consoles, and I'm a big I'm a big vinyl guy. I love the sound of big warm records. That's like for me, that's one of the funnest parts of making music, is like making a literal record. Like and a good sounding record that I like to spin at home. So so a lot of thought goes into like the recording process to make sure that happens.
So do you also think of that when you're recording, like, okay, I have 20 minutes for side A and 20 minutes for side B. Now we need to fit these songs into that?
I wouldn't say as much in terms of like, so for example, so we're doing this record will be on a double 45. And it's going to be three-sided. So, just to get like the least compressed sound, that we could. And cause we also did the whole record at 96/24. So it's like, most people record at 44 or 48. So we went for like a higher resolution, which matters to some people, matters to me, but obviously it can all sound great. So it's more just thinking about like the soundscape and like the soundstage and like what is it going to sound like for like someone who's listening to it for the first time, and like what kind of journey can we take them on?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing better than like, putting on some Pink Floyd or something and just going to another planet, and I think that's a really fun way to make a record, is like take someone somewhere they haven't been, or something where you can just kind of like, like what it's like when you just like the sound just kind of washes over you, and it's just like it's the best.
Yeah, a lot of record collectors are collecting records and playing records because if it's done correctly, it sounds like you're there with the artist in the studio. And I think when you're playing Spotify
100%.
or whatever, you don't get that. So yeah, if the artist also thinks of it that way, like bring the listener in instead of this is my song, here, listen to it.
Right.
That's it's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I like it.
Have you guys been able
I
to
agree.
tour any of this?
That's kind of like we're at the starting gates for that now.
Okay.
We've got a kind of a big kickoff show in Halifax, the end of June. Kind of one of the bigger live venues here. We're doing a couple small shows just outside the city before that, and then we're looking at we've got a bunch of sort of unconfirmed dates, is what I would call them, just like venues that want to book us, and we're just trying to sort out the when,
the details. Yeah.
And then we're looking to get in the fall. We're looking to get out of Nova Scotia, maybe head to Toronto, maybe head out west for a bit, and just do a handful of shows, mostly through some of our friends and contacts who play regularly in those parts, and go and do some like shows with friends and stuff like that, just to get out and share it and get some more.
For sure. Heck yeah. If you guys are ever coming out. Yeah. Well, no doubt, man. It's like trying to figure out who to contact first, and then just the scheduling aspect of it, right? To line it up so it all coincides, so you can do it all consecutively. Yeah.
If you guys want to play in Saskatchewan, like Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Regina, we have some contacts.
Moose Jaw. Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
So what does the music scene look like in Nova Scotia? Because I think you're the first that we had have that from Nova Scotia. Yeah. So is
nice.
What does the?
I think it's great.
And so here in Saskatchewan, it's a lot of country. Is that the same in there too?
I mean, outside of like the metro area, but like more like our country would be more like traditional, like Celtic and that kind of music. That's kind of our country music. I mean, we like country's big here too, but more traditional, like similar to like Newfoundland and those areas where you get a lot of like fiddle oriented music. But like Halifax has always been known as a big like indie kind of haven. Like in the 90s, we were kind of compared to Seattle, like as like a sister city. Like we had a ton of bands like Sloan, Thrush Hermit, like Super Friends, like all these like really popular indie bands exploded out of here in the 90s. So that's kind of what like we were known for, like just a really great music scene. And then things were kind of after 2000, like kind of died. Like I'd say there's like 10 years of like just even more than that, like of just kind of a lot of transition and a lot of places closing down. And, like it just, I think a lot of people, a lot of cities went through that. And now it's kind of like bounced back. Like it's really busy, like shows all the time, a lot of outside acts coming through, a lot of people putting out material, and a lot of just great artists from here as well.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, it's really, the scene is really strong here at the moment.
Cool. That's excellent.
Is Joel Plaskett from Halifax?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
We were supposed to see him last Friday.
He was supposed to play at
He's
the
awesome.
in Saskatoon on Friday, but he had to cancel or reschedule because of the pilot strikes or whatever.
Strikes, yeah.
They couldn't fly in for
Right.
whatever reason.
Oh shit!
Joel's the man. Like he's just great.
So good. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Where's this?
You guys know?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, do you guys know Winter Sleep?
Yep. Oh, they're from there
I
too?
don't.
Yeah. They're I mean, they're one of the bigger indie bands that come out of Nova Scotia in the last kind of 15 years. You'd know some of their songs probably. Like if you go like listen to like their song America or like Weighty Ghost, like they had some like pretty big radio like Canadian content type songs.
They
but
played
their
at the
drummer
Cap not that long ago too.
They were at the Cap as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, they're awesome. But their drummer, who's one of the best rock drummers in the country, he played on both of our records. He's just a good buddy of ours.
Sweet.
And he's out. Who's he touring with right now?
Billy Talent.
Billy, yeah. So he's out with Billy Talent right now doing all their drum work.
Shit, yeah, man.
I think he was out.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, check out. Yeah, if you don't know Winter Sleep, man, like check them out. They're awesome.
Just dropping names here, Billy.
Well, yeah, dude, I love that shit. That's exciting to me. It's like,
I know.
You know,
we're living vicariously through them.
Dude, we do that all the time. We live vicariously through all you guys, man. It's like, yeah, we had him on our podcast.
Yeah. Oh, we know that guy.
Yeah. For sure. What's the name of that venue that you guys are gonna kick it off at the end of June?
The Marquee.
At the Marquee?
Oh.
Okay.
It's called the Marquee. Yeah.
Okay. How big of a venue is that, if you don't mind me asking? Like how many seats?
It's kind of a minimum. It's like a minimum 500, and then they can expand it to kind of closer to 800.
Nice.
You know, like pretty good size venue. I mean, you know, we're aiming to fill the 500. That's our goal.
For sure.
So.
And that's going to be the first show since pre-COVID.
We played a couple shows last year, and then we kind of took a break. When I say a break from playing, because we were getting this record done,
right?
Which just took a long time. But now that it's done and kind of things have normalized, now we can just focus on playing, which is what we all want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah!
So when you say we're aiming to fill the 500, is that your ultimate goal, or is it like we want to fill a stadium at some point?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, like, you know, there's no cap on the future, but for the next 60 days, you know, it's just get one step at a time, you know. Yeah. But we've got some awesome like friends joining us for that show. Really cool opening act. So should be a fun night, no matter what happens.
Oh,
and
hell yeah!
Do you book something like that yourself, or do you get asked, or how does that work?
No, we book it ourselves. Like you just call the venue and you know, look at what they have available, and also like one of the guys in our band works for a company called Ticket Pro, so he's super well connected with all the venues all through kind of the Maritimes. So it's really helpful having him in terms of just knowing who everyone is and you know, kind of always being able to get right to the person you want to talk to.
Yeah, knowing people is half the battle in this industry.
Yeah. It's that saying, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
No, it's actually it's not who you know, it's how well you know.
That might be more true in the music industry than just about anywhere else.
No doubt. No doubt. So where is the farthest from home you guys have been able to perform?
I mean, if you look at our timeline we've laid out, it's like COVID and then finish the album. So like there's been no opportunity yet to kind of get out and travel. But
this was the video.
we did go to LA like during when the first kind of break happened in COVID, and we went down and we shot a video and went to Joshua Tree for like 5 days and just like
coolest place in the world, man.
Yeah, just recorded some stuff and and just kind of hung out, which was awesome. But yeah, not performance, but in terms of traveling as a band, it was super fun.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I'm curious also about the name Hot Mondy. Like I kept calling it Hot Monty, and Mark kept correcting me there. But what's a Mondy? I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. It's like
They
if
forgot how to spell
wrong,
Monday.
If it sounds wrong, you're saying it right. That's the key. If you say it just doesn't feel right, you nailed it. So what happened was we were trying to figure out name for the band. It's always like, nightmare. And Trav was over hanging out, and I don't know. I think we were both pretty high, and and Trav, I've got like all kinds of like writing books and stuff like that, and Trav was going through one of them, and he's like, there's like words in here I haven't even heard of before, and he's like this one, and he's like, what's that say? Is that hot Mondy? And I was like, here, show me, and he showed me it, and it was haut monde, like French, and which means like high society, and we just like laughed. We just like, it was hilarious because it was just like, of all the words to mispronounce, and it was just like, we're like, all right, that's it, and the rest is history.
Yeah, real high class.
My God.
Yeah.
That's freaking hilarious. Right. I love it.
Dude.
Yeah. So when you guys were creating this record, is there one track in particular, like which ones are your guys' favorite out of the album?
Oh man,
that's a tough one.
I don't know. Like there's this track called Never Meant Nothing that I love. Like I love the way he sings it. It's got this like awesome saxophone solo on it. And it's just a weird, like it's a really interesting song. Cause it's like, it's kind of starts really chill, and then it just never stops kind of building and like gathering momentum until it's just like, the 4 minutes like just fly by. And I love the way that one feels. And that's definitely up there for me.
I'd agree. The sax solo just took it home for me. Yeah. I was
so
giddy when I heard that.
Yeah. But We Go Back's another one that I love, that he sings. It's got this almost like kind of Stevie Wonder kind of like beat, kind of groove to it, and then out of nowhere it goes to this kind of Band on the Run, kind of like Strum City, like kind of bridge. I don't know. It's I really like that one. It's fun to play. Feels really good to listen to. And then the guest vocalists, I don't know, like the song Day Stealer, I really like. Christina Martin, she's a really awesome kind of Americana singer. And she's got this kind of like Dolly, kind of Alison Krauss kind of vibe to her voice. And she's really, really beautiful. That was a fun one to record too. Like we recorded that. There's no drums on that track. It's like recorded live off the floor, like kind of a semicircle setup with like 4 acoustic guitars.
Right.
And so it was just like a fun, like sometimes it's just like that. I love that song. It was fun to record. And so it's just like, and I'm also a sucker for like nostalgia and kind of like, the good old days and stuff like that. So it's one of those songs.
Heck yeah.
So the live off the floor thing, was that hard to do or?
Not too bad. Like, I think we did a handful of takes. It was kind of neat because we basically, the way the producer set us up was like, I was in the center because there was bass on it. So I was playing bass, and then, I had 2 of the guys to my left, 2 to my right, and basically, kind of 2 standard 6-string guitars. And then we had like a Nashville tuned guitar. Did we have a 12-string on that?
I think we had every guitar.
Yeah. Like, so we had like 4 different guitars with different characteristics. Yeah. So like, it was just a really neat, and everybody had a slightly different part. So it was just really nicely kind of orchestrated together. But I think it only took probably 3 or 4 takes. It was one of those ones where it was just like, you had like the take was the take, like there was no editing with it. It was one of those things where it's just because of the nature of the way it was recorded, it's like you have to get it right.
Yeah, man.
So,
and to piggyback on the Off the Floor, funny story was the track I Know Now, which is sort of like the more rocky tune, like kind of, I mean, how would I describe that? Kind of more upbeat, kind of rocky tune. But anyhow, we went in there and we were just like rehearsing it before we were going to hit record. And we went through and we did it. And Michael goes up and he puts on the microphone and he goes, "Yeah, that's the one." We're like, "What?" So we're like, "That was just the practice, right?" So we go down and he's like, "No, man, that's the one."
Yeah.
It was no click or anything. Just he said that's the one. So
nice.
It's kind of a cool.
Hell
cool
yeah,
story,
no doubt. And you didn't even know, right?
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
It wasn't even.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, I think that's what he loved about it, because it was just very it was very rock and roll, like very loose, but groovy, and just had like a nice, really cool quality to it. So
cool, man.
That's what I like about Michael. He'll just kind of like those things that sometimes you think are imperfections. He's like, no, that's the thing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
definitely.
I agree. Like there's a time and place for a very polished production, and it sounds perfect. Yeah, that sounds great. But there's also something about that raw. Even the listener can tell, oh, that wasn't perfect, but still sounded good.
Right.
And
if anything, it makes you
adds to the
it makes you be more attentive. It's like, oh, what was that? Right? Like it draws you in for sure, because like
and
something
then the
might
like,
not be right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When bringing in other artists to sing like you guys did on here, are they collaborating with the writing process as well, or do you guys have it all like figured all out and it's like, hey, I just need you to come in and sing this?
Yeah, like what I would say is the song's written, like the phrasing's definitely like pretty nailed down. The melody, but they're great singers, so it's like sometimes they'll just have a better idea, and like we always like. And Michael's got one of the things because I engineered some of the vocals because of the nature of the way things were done. But it's like you get them to do some passes and kind of their interpretation of kind of what's been kind of laid out for them. But then like once you've got it, then it's like, all right, like get self-indulgent, like make it like
make it your own now.
Give us a couple passes where where you're just kind of giving into some of your stuff you may not normally do or whatnot, and just see if I can find something really interesting or unexpected, and often you do, which is always cool to see.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Fuck, I had another question there and it just slipped right out about recording. I don't remember.
Was it about if everyone was in the same room?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't remember. It was like a follow-up with writing and recording.
I know some bands have like, okay, day one the drummer goes in, day two the bassist goes in, and then. But did you guys
follow that a bit?
Yeah. We all go in at the same time, but the goal is to get the drums done. Like that's the goal. So we basically it's get the drums done as fast as possible. By then the bass is usually mostly there. And then it's like build from there. So like, he's interesting because most singers will, once all the beds and everything are down, will then go and do their vocal pass. But for both of like the songs that he's the writer on, like it was like the vocal like right off the floor, like it was the meant to be kind of the guide track for us, but like
interesting.
There's something about him like where like if he has his guitar in his hands and he's like pouring his heart out in it, like it's just much harder for him to recreate like on like in a vocal booth and kind of like that kind of environment. So like, yeah, so two of the vocal paths in there are like, I think they're like through a 57, like just like, just like kind of Tom Petty style, just like ripping through a handheld mic. And it's just, you just won't get a better take than that. So yeah,
it's funny. I was like, man, give me a chance. I want to sing through a better microphone or whatever. And he's like, no, man. I'm like, this is it.
He really doesn't want to
trust Michael. He's a pro.
Michael really doesn't want you to do things twice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck these guys. I want to get out of here.
Yeah. Exactly. No, it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's the one. That's the one, boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So how long? Okay, so you guys said that you met at like a birthday party and everything. Like, how old were you guys when it all began?
Oh, like this is like 4 years. It was a year before COVID.
Right.
So
Okay.
Okay, so then how long have you guys been like singing and performing and playing instruments? Like, I'm sure you didn't just pick up a guitar a few years back, right? Like,
It's funny you asked that, because like, I mean, I'll let Trav tell his story, but like I literally started playing music when I was 37. I'm 43 now. And
there is a chance.
Basically kind of, yeah, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm telling you, because I come from a really musical family. My dad's a amazing. He actually plays a solo on the album. He's a great guitar player. So I grew up around it, but just was always more athletically inclined than putting the time and effort into music. Like, music was super hard, and
Right.
sports is a lot easier. It's like so yeah. So but as I got into my 30s and kind of also got tired of like, kind of some of the stuff I was doing like professionally, I was just like, I want to play music. So I basically like just like shut the door, like locked it, and like for a year, just like 7-8 hours a day, like did nothing but learn how to play music, like learn how it all works. And
Right.
when I say all works, I mean learn how to get functional, like so that I could play with people. And yeah, and that's been kind of the thing since. Like I just live and breathe music. But yeah, like I went from literally just about zero at 37 to now. And I only say that because, like, to what you just said, if anybody's ever like saying it's too late or I'm not musical, like you can do it. Like you can do it. Like, just my dad's advice to me was just like, embrace the suck. You're going to suck for a while, and just like, know you're going to suck, and like, don't fight it, but stick with it. And it's like the magic will come. It's just, it takes a while. And the payoffs are awesome, but it's like, it's hard and it's a grind for a while. And it's just like, but if you get through it, it's the best. It's super rewarding.
Hell yeah. And how about you, Travis?
Yeah. So my mother and my uncle played in a band growing up. So I was always at a young age kind of at these rehearsals and that. But I had such a passion for wanting to learn guitar around 10, and did some lessons and I got good, but I was really bad at retaining any of the theory and that side of it. So I just assumed that I wasn't cut out for it beyond like a certain point. So again, I was just like, all right, I moved schools and got into skateboarding and other sports like that. So that sort of ate up a lot of time. But a lot of those guys were into metal music and, punk and stuff like that. And they were looking for a drummer. So I was like, well, fuck, okay, I'll get a kit. So I got a kit and I was pretty good at it. So I played in some, metal bands and punk bands and we sucked, but it was fun. And then they continued on. I got older in my 20s, and I played in sort of like a hipster sort of surfy B-52s meets the Doors sort of sound. And we did some stuff. It was a 3-piece and super fun. And again, playing the drums, I loved it. I didn't have to know the notes. I could just do it, right? Instinctually. And then, but I always loved playing guitar. I felt limited with what I could do with it, where I could go with it. So when Matt and I sort of met, I mean, I was hungry to play, hungry to learn more. So we just kind of put our heads down and learned and went into the shit, and here we are, like just really going for it. So I'm really proud of us for sticking with it and
Oh, for sure,
following
man.
passion, getting the doubt monsters out of the way, right? Just going for it.
Heck yeah, and having
Yeah.
fun with it too. Like why? Like
That's it.
yeah, it's
Yes.
like I can totally relate to that, dude, and I commend and respect you guys for that. Like I think we're all around the same age here too, and like if I look back, how long have we been doing like not just the show, but I don't know, if I looked back 5 years ago and look at and tell myself that I'd be where I am today, like I wouldn't even fuck if I know. Like I don't play an instrument, I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't do any of that shit. And like now we're on stage once a week, fucking hosting the open mics and doing this show once a week, and it's like, awesome, what the fuck, dude? Like, how did we even get here? And it was all just passion and fun and just doing what we wanted. That's what brought us here. Is just doing it for ourselves and loving it.
Yes.
That's what got us here. So I can relate to that 100%.
We still don't play music, but
yeah, and the music's good too. But yeah, no, dude.
Music's the best. Like no matter what part of it you're involved in, like it's just
100%. Because that's what brought it all together. All the people that we get to meet and all the friends that we've made in the past few years. Bottom line is it was the music that brought us all together.
Yeah, everybody has the same passion, and it's music.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I fucking love it, dude. I love it. A question I didn't ask you guys up at the top, but would you guys grant us permission to put a couple of those videos in this episode?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah.
Any specific ones that you guys want us to play, or should we play the ones that we were talking about maybe?
Yeah, I mean, play like obviously the vampire one, and then maybe a couple of the lyric videos off the new record.
Okay.
And that'd be super cool.
it's just time, time, time killing. Yeah, it's just time, time, time killing. Yeah, it's just time, time, time killing me.
Hell yeah, dude. We will definitely drop 2, maybe 3 in this episode. But before we officially let you guys go,
Sure.
if you don't mind just telling the people watching and listening, like, where should we try and help direct people to find your music? Like,
Yeah, so we like at this point in time, we're not streaming our music, so that was just a choice we made. We made as a band to kind of try to find places like where people kind of love music as much as we do, like all parts of the of wherever it is, you know, like whether it's like record store owners or even like companies like Bandcamp, which are like very artist friendly and artist first. So Bandcamp would be like the best place to get it. You can get there through our website, which is like hotmondy.com, or you can just go to Bandcamp and look up Hot Mondy, and all of our music's there. The other thing too, man, our like when our vinyl comes out, it also has like a 50-page comic book with it. That's like kind of what we did for the big visual for this record.
Sweet.
So like it comes in a slipcase with the double vinyl and this really cool graphic comic that has
hell
like
yeah.
a little
It's
yeah
so neat,
it has
man.
like it has a mini comic
Yeah.
for like each song. And we worked with some awesome local artists to put it all together. I'll send you guys a digital copy of it so you can actually just open it up and check it out.
Shit, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Actually, now I'm not gonna let you go here just yet. Do
Yeah,
you
go
have
ahead.
any?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Do you have any vinyl questions for these guys? Like I'll just ask you myself.
Well, they're
It,
not in the process quite yet.
so you guys have like ordered them to get pressed on
Yeah.
vinyl?
We're
Yeah.
by the end of June we'll have the physical copies.
Shit, yeah,
Oh,
dude.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. Like, what may I ask? Like, which company did you guys partner with to get them
Where did
pressed?
you have them pressed, basically?
Yeah, we're using Kaneshi vinyl and
Oh, yeah.
PEI.
Yep, that makes sense. That's the
Yeah.
closest one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how was the process for you? Because I know it can be like a little overwhelming because there's so many freaking like right to the T, man. Like there's so many things you have to choose
Yeah.
when making a record. So I'm curious how it was for you guys.
I mean, it's a big passion of mine. Like I love records. I love collecting them. So I kind of geek out on that process. Like I like putting together kind of all the components and figuring out what it's all going to be. But you are 100% right. Like it can be very tedious at times as well. And it's the whole like if you miss a step, like you can bring the whole like process to a halt. So it's like making sure to stay on top of like all the moving parts, because it's like, there's a whole sequence of things that have to happen in order to get. And where'd you guys go?
Give the clerk a tan, take the change. See the sleight of hand, close range. Thou wondering why, waiting for the train, make your peace. You're stepping out in front, break the lease. Thou saying goodbye, never meant nothing. Never meant nothing, no. Never meant nothing, never meant nothing at all. Buzzing with the fluorescent brain, pouring out 91 octane. Step in the line, hit up your old high school, open old wounds from the broken rules. Gonna set things right, and it never meant nothing, never meant nothing at all. Never meant nothing, never meant nothing at all. Shovel the dirt, cover it up, fill in the cracks, you're pushing your luck. It's not like anyone could ever know. Throw down a bed and settle the score. Look the other way, it's easy to say. If easy coming, easy to let go. You say you love her knowing it ain't true. She's living every life next to you. I can't come out and say, I'll wait all day. Swirling like taste in my mind, takes me away. Those stars fall by. I'll be it's in my heart and make it I'll be right home. Be right home. I'll be right home. I'll be right
So some of that was glitchy. I hate asking, but would you mind repeating the last part when I was saying like how was it for you guys in doing this? I remember you
yeah.
saying, I think the last thing I picked up clearly was you were like you tend to geek out in this kind of stuff because you are a record collector and all of the above.
Yeah, because like I think about like, well, what would I want to see like if I bought a record. So I put a lot of time. Like I do a lot of the not the comic stuff, but the other stuff that like put a lot of that artwork together and kind of figure out what the visual elements are. Travis is like a big help too. Travis got a great eye for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so just putting that all together, and you were talking about how, it can be a bit of an ordeal, and even though I enjoy it, it like is an ordeal. Like there's a lot of like moving parts, and you can't miss a step, like, or it can just like slow everything down brutally.
Right.
So, but like I can see the finish line. I can see it.
That's
But
excellent.
but the yeah, and like the cost of vinyl's gone like through the roof too, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So what's and then also the production time? How long? What's the waiting period at Ganeshi right now?
It was a bit of a backlog, but they have the stampers now, so I'm expecting to have like test pressings, hopefully like next week, and that all looks good. I've already sent everything off for like the printers, so it's kind of almost out of my hands, which is
Yep.
good,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I get some, I'll definitely send one out to you guys. But I'd also love to like, get some, guys can sell them stuff.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we'll talk about after the show for sure here.
Yeah.
I won't take up more of you guys' time. I am honored to have met you, even though it is virtually here, you guys. I want to see you guys live. Maybe one of these days I'll head out your way to look into my ancestry a little bit, and I'm definitely going to hit you guys up, man, for sure. But yeah,
we'll see you a time.
hell yeah, dude.
You guys try to get out like when we get out west and go play some shows and just get on the road as well. So
definitely, man. Definitely. We will stay in touch. I want you guys to know that this door is always open for you. If ever you guys got something coming out, you want to talk about it or just come shoot the shit with us, please just hit us up, man. You guys are part of the family now. So
welcome to the herd.
Yeah, welcome to the herd. I appreciate you guys.
Stoked to be a part of it.
Hell yeah. And for those of you listening or watching at home, thanks for tuning in this week, and
see you next week.
See you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, guys.
See you, fellas.
If you get sorry, if you get those,
as soon as I get
yeah. Okay, you go.
Yeah, this is such a Canadian standoff.